Come on, T-Bone, the gate all the way down there. Go, go. Baby, got to go.
And there went out a decree that all the world should be taxed. Luke 2:1.
What is happening, y'all? I think I'm starting to lose track on what day we are in Vlogmas. I think it's day 6. I'm pretty sure that's right. So we are in something that you all haven't seen in a while. The store. That's right. So if you all are forgot or unfamiliar, we got one of these prefab Amish cabins that Jen and I call it, but they're popular. They're everywhere, where you just go pick out the one you want, pick out the colors, and they deliver it to you like this. That was wild on itself, having that delivered, but nonetheless, it's here. And our goal is to have this in operation by spring 2022. So we want this thing full of goodies of Jen's and also adding a little bit of the grab and go food kind of thing too. So we're gonna like ease our way into that restaurant life. Well, we did go ahead and ask them to put the outlets in. So that came already ready. I guess to my surprise, that did not come with any breaker boxes. Thankfully, I built a house. If you haven't been around for a while, we built a pole barn that my dad and I and several other people built for Jen and I and the kids to live in. So I do have a little of electrical experience. So thankfully I do know how to hook up a breaker box. But I am no genius or master at anything at all. But I do know someone who is. My best bud, Tyler, he is in electrician school. And he's actively working as an electrician, or whatever the title is that you are, Tyler, you know what I'm talking about. So I have him that I can bounce things off of, make sure I'm doing it right, make sure I'm doing it to code, because it will need to be inspected before electrical is hooked up to it. So that being said, it's time to get some work. And the first thing I'm gonna do is take this thing out. So this was put in on the move. So they put this in on the move so it doesn't, just trying to help keep it sturdy through transportation to where it won't bow or adjust. But it's quite my tripping hazard. I've almost fell over about 4 times just being in here the little bit that I have. So I'm gonna take it off so we can work, because we're gonna be putting the box in one of those 2.
It's out.
Yeah. All right, breaker box is hung. So now I've gotten the wire pulled, watch out babe. I've gotten the wire pulled back in because they had it hooked outside and I just filtered it back through the hose. They actually ran it on one breaker. So all these outlets are on one breaker. And according to Tyler, no slits, just one up and down. So I just need a 15 amp breaker, not a 20. So I'll put that in, then we'll hook it up. So you actually already saw me starting to work on the store and doing the electrical. Man, what I forgot. All the little missing pieces that you remember as you get going. Again, thank you, Tyler, for being there for me and help me bounce all my questions off of you. So like I had mentioned, we built a pole barn house previous to this house that we lived in. And we did all the electrical, passed inspection, of course. So we know what we're doing up to, you know, code. Obviously, we're still fairly rookies because we don't do it on a daily basis. But the last time I did that was before we even lived in North Carolina. So it's been, what, 7 years?
Almost.
Yeah, so like when I was getting all my stuff, it's like, oh yeah, I need that and that and that. And small town living, the closest place that has electrical stuff is Lowe's, and that's in a town completely outside of this town.
5 years. It's been 5 years.
5 years. So it's not as easy to run to the store when you forget something, so you kind of have to delay and then go and do all that stuff. But we'll get it done. We will get it done. I was able to get the inside done. So I was able to get the electrical or the breaker hooked up. So everything on the inside is now wired. I now need to move to the outside, which is the more difficult part. I also could probably call the electrical company this week and just start putting it in their ear and getting on their schedule and seeing when maybe they'll be available so I can have a timeline to try to meet.
I have a feeling when you call, they'll be like, okay, I'll be there in 10. So.
Yeah, they might. They seem to chit-chat with me a lot once they come out here. I'm banging down the doors of electrical work around here for the utilities, I guess. But, yeah, you're probably right. But that's a good problem. At least we don't have to get, like, on a month advance list. But I still would like to call them just to see what this town may need differently than where I was previously. But today, it's raining. It is pouring down rain outside. We have got to start working on salves. Braylon has gymnastics and cheerleading.
Yep.
What else?
Gotta go to the store.
Gotta go to the store.
Kids have requested a grocery trip.
Yeah. We're kind of doing this thing where it's, really cutting back on the snacks and having that stuff and just doing more of our own homemade stuff because we know how to do it, so it's just doing it. Yeah. But we are starting to run out of some of the critical things.
I do have to make bread today. Yeah.
All right. Let's get right at it. It's a rainy Monday, and so it's kind of like... This is the look of a woman that's been busting her butt today. She's been doing a lot on a rainy Monday when everything about your mind and body's telling you just go lay down, take it easy, and relax. She's been pushing forward. She's gotten so much comfort done already. I've been on call, so I've been just a worthless piece of help here. And she's been doing all this on her own. So I'm going to jump in here now at the end and help her finish the last couple. Well, folks, unfortunately, I knew this day was eventually going to come at some point. T-Bone's out. Okay, let's get Rusty up because he's going to cause chaos. Come on, Rusty. All right, I got Rusty up, and I'm only running because my front gate's open. This is an important piece that we planned for if an animal ever got out. That's why we did our perimeter fencing and interior fencing. So right now, this is my only weak spot. The rest has barbed wire fence all the way around. So I wanted to rush down here, get this shut. Now, we'll see how this goes. It's my first time ever having a cow loose. But we've spent a lot of time with them. I should be able to get a bucket and take him right back in. But I just saw him bucking. T-Bone's our young bull, by the way. Where'd he go? Okay, he's just up there eating. So he's excited. He's very excited right now. We had a bad storm come through and it just ended. So I'm assuming my electrical fence somewhere went down. That's how I got out. I was just hoping I see Daisy and Hank. T-Bone! See, y'all see my back? T-Bone, what you doing? I know where you're supposed to be, T-Bone. No, it's not. You know it, and I know it. Oh yeah. Someone's excited. All right. They're all in, but I don't know where he got out because I don't really want to open that gate. T-Bone, what you doing, buddy? Where'd you get out of? Where'd you get out of? Look. Look. It's all right. Come on. Coming with me? T-Bone. Come on, T-Bone. Come on, T-Bone. No. Now go back. Come on, T-Bone. Come on, T-Bone. Yep, Daisy back. Daisy. Back. 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 Come on, T-Bone. Yeah. Stay back. Stay back. Stay back. Tebow. Tebow. Stay back, Daisy. Stay back. Ah. 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 Okay. The other cows kind of ruined that. So I fed them, try to keep them distracted, and now me and T-Bone are gonna try to walk the long way around. Jen's out here now. Biggest thing is stay calm. I'm gonna try to walk him. I gotta get Jen out here now. If he'll go with us, I want to walk him the long way. I got them feeding over here. He's excited. Here. There you go. Look. See? Look. Get your son. Now, get your son. Get your in there and get your son. All right. All right. Come on. Come on, T-Bow. Come on, T-Bow. Come on, T-Bow. T-Bow, come on. Go down to the gate. Come on, T-Bow. The gate all the way down there. Go. Go. Baby, got to go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Hey, he doesn't want to leave them very far. Hang on, babe. He ain't wanting to leave them very far. Slow down. Slow down. I don't need you bucking on me. Come here. All right, I got him where we wanted, but I put the gate up. All right, T-Bone. Here you go. I'd rather you stay here. You just sit there and eat for a minute. Come on. T-Bone, T-Bone. With them. He doesn't want to leave them very far. So I can't get him to walk all the way down there where I wanted to, because I wanted to get him in that gate. Because once he's in that pasture, then I can just open the pastures, you know? But they are nosy.
You just feed them, and then I'll stand in there?
Well, let me try. Here it goes. Here it goes. I'm assuming that's where he got out, right up there, because it's leaned over. All right, let's feed you all. He's in. That was an impressive jump there, Mr. T-Bone. He just jumped it. Problem is now he knows he can jump it. Well, Mr. T-Bone. Well, big guy, was that fun? Huh? Was that a fun adventure? Ain't nothing to see here, y'all. Everybody go back to the business.
They're all jacked up.
You know, that was part of the problem, too. They were all so excited and loud. That was getting T-Bone so excited and loud.
They're like cheering for him.
Yeah.
Go,
Be free. I've got to go down and turn the fence off. It is leaned over in one spot, and so he just jumped it. I don't know if I caught that or not, but he just jumped it to get back in. But Happy Monday. Overall, though, like I said when I was running down to close the gate, it's not a huge fear, because even though he got out of his fence, he was still fenced. Yeah. And so again, that's why we did the perimeter fencing in the first place, is for these kind of situations.
You really just don't want him showing everybody else.
Yeah, because see, now the problem is he knows he can do that, and that's an issue, and so we're gonna have to pop that electric up a little higher. What about that, Ray Ray? That was nuts.
There's a little dent at the end of the fence.
Yeah,
that's how he jumps.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, it's time to fix it. I think I might have found the problem. My power was on, but look at this. My fence wasn't hot. That must have happened during the storm. It must have fell off, and so the fence wasn't hot. I almost guarantee it, folks. Someone had actually posted in our Stop Tribe group. They said they were getting goats, and if there's any tips or tricks that anyone had, I'm getting some more posts. And a lot of people was talking about how if it doesn't hold water, it won't hold a goat, which I largely disagree with. But anytime an animal gets out, it's rarely the animal's fault. It's 99, sorry, hang on with me. It is strongly 99.9% of the time the owner's fault. And even though technically I didn't go out there and unhook the power, I knew better and should have went and checked it after the storm we had. And so I had a non-powered fence. So that's on the owner, not on T-Bone. But, you know, it's part of the game. Can't catch it all. Try to catch it all. So just do your best. But having that background and that safety of the perimeter fencing, that's what makes your life a lot better. A lot less stressful. Even though it was the first time we've ever had a cow get out. It's okay though. He's back in now, staring me down. What's up, y'all? Got a little extra feed this evening, didn't we? All right, let's get this fence fixed. Hey, Hank, you the only good one around here. Good old Hank. Oh, Hank. Okay, right here was the problem. This had bent over, got caught on the weeds, and was laying really low. It didn't take much for anybody to step over it. I could just step over it. So I added another post to help support this little area, and then that should be good to go. But like I said, him and Hank were probably playing around, kept bumping into it. That's what pushed it down. Then they realized it wasn't shocking them, so they could easily get back over. Woo! Slipped in the mud. Again, owner fault, not animal fault. So glad that we were able to figure out what the issue was and now go turn the power back on because we don't want it to happen again. But exciting, wild, interesting, but over, thankfully, in a positive way. Okay, check my power, make sure we're good. Uh-oh. Okay, I went and checked my power and I still didn't have any power. So I'm not sure what's going on with this one. Thankfully I have backups, so I went and grabbed my 260s and hooked on there, and now I'm powered back up. But that was off, and then I plugged it back in and it's still not working and everything's hooked up. So I'm gonna have to like investigate on this one and see what's wrong with this new 120 I got. But again, thankfully there's backups, so now we have power. And just a triple check. Thank you all for being chill and eating your hay now. Yeah, there we go. 8, 8, 8, 8. The reason I check here and here is because this is my brake. So one power bank goes all the way around the pasture to here. The other one goes here and around. So if I can check here and here, I know I'm good everywhere. All right, ladies and gents, can we be good for the rest of the evening, please? Thank y'all. Okay, everybody's good outside. Went ahead and gave some hay to the other animals because everybody's excitement level is a little high, so keep everybody busy. But I wanted to talk about what did I just learn, because anytime you have a scenario like that, it's very important to what you may call a retrospective, right? Let's retrospective what just happened, how, why, what, and what did we learn, so we can figure out what T-Bone got loose, right? He got out. He did not have a fence go down. He jumped the fence. So a fence was kind of leaning, which I've got my eye on him out there. He's close to the area that he got out. The fence was leaning. T-Bone is a young bull and he knows how to buck, and he was able to clear it with good height. So noted, right? Noted that he is able to do that, and now he knows how to do that. Secondly, would that have happened if the power was on? I don't know. They've never even slightly tested the fence. T-Bone has been shocked a few times during feeding time, so he knows it's hot. He doesn't like it, so I know he's aware of that. However, animals know if that fence is off for too long, they get used to it and they're not scared of it anymore. So I'm going to have to keep a close eye on him for a few weeks just to make sure that he has relearned himself that that's hot and that's a no-no. So that means it's my job to make sure that power every single day is very active and hot so we don't have this issue come up again. I also learned that T-Bone did not want to go too far away from the rest of the herd. They were all still in the fence and in the barn. He did not want to venture and bucket train or bucket follow like I had trained him to come all the way down here to the easy fence because I have like multiple pastures. So this fence I could have let it completely go down and the other cows would have been completely blocked off. That was my goal. That's what I've always planned for. Because that way you don't have to worry about them getting out or whatever, because there's a little touch and go there when I try to get them in the barn fence. He did not want to leave them that far. He wanted to stay close to them, even though he was having loads of fun. Noted. Also, Flossie and Daisy run the show. I already knew they did, but it's their show. So, like, they were upset that T-Bone was out. T-Bone was upset that he was out, too, because it made them upset. So, they're definitely the queens of the roost. So, they're going to be my leaders. If there was ever a case where they all got out, I know that they're the core. Get Flossie and Daisy, which are the two that I've trained the best on. The rest will come from there. So that's very good to know. Lastly, and absolutely the most importantly, I need to listen to my wife better. She had said that thing had been blinking red, and I thought it was just due to us not having the greatest sunlight, even though the others were blinking green. Go back in some of my stories that I've told you, blinking red means your power is low and almost out. Well, I was noticing that it would come back to green during the day, so I was like, well, it's not completely out, it just gets low, and that's pretty common in the winter. Well, she was right. There was something that was actually wrong with that power bank. It was unplugged, and even when I plugged it back in, it still wasn't giving power to the fence. So, most importantly, listen to my wife better. Ultimately, though, I'm so happy that we planned and prepared the appropriate way. So when this happened, no one was real nervous, right? I didn't have to worry about my bull getting on the road and potentially really hurting something or getting stuff really out of hand and, getting him off the property. That was zero fear of that. And that made me and everyone feel so much better. Knowing, one, he couldn't get to the other animals. They're in their own pen. He couldn't get out of the perimeter fence unless he really, really absolutely went crazy. But, that is hard to stop. But we had the interior fence, got out of it. We had the perimeter fence to cover it. We knew exactly what to do. Always keep your clothes on during the day. Have you a good, easy pair of boots to slip on so you can get fast in action like we were able to today. Because if we didn't notice and we had to get our boots on or whatever it was, and he was walking himself down the driveway, he could have went right out the front gate because we leave the front gate open during the day and only close it during the evening hours. So always be ready. The unexpected happens at the worst times. At the worst times. It's never going to happen when you want it to because there's never a good time for an animal to get out. So always be prepared. Always be ready to jump if your animals tell you have to jump, and stay calm. That is the utmost important thing to do, is to stay calm in these situations, because they're going to feed off your anxiety. And if you start building up and going crazy and nuts, so are they. Stay calm. Give yourself a good environment. Give the animal a good environment, and then see what happens. Ours worked out pretty well. He just jumped the fence, got right back in, and the problem was solved. So, whew. Chaos on a Monday. I think we gotta get back to Savs. Jen had to take Raylan to cheerleading. It's just, happy Monday.
December 5th. I am the Lord's servant. Mary answered, may it be to me as you say, as you have said. Luke 1:32.
I'll read it again because she said it really well. I am the Lord's servant, Mary answered. May it be to me as you have said. Luke 1:38.
Okay, week 2 is about angels. Last week we learned that God's people were waiting and waiting and waiting for a Savior. Then some prophets came and told them about God's promise to send a baby that would be born in Bethlehem. Let's say this all together. God's people waited for the promise to come true. God's people waited for the promise to come true.